Before we start the show, I'd like to inform our listeners that the stories I share about myself and those that I include in my stories are all events that have allegedly occurred. Also, the guests in which I have on my show and the stories they share about themselves or others that they include in their stories are all events that have allegedly occurred. Thank you. Enjoy the show. Theater Management. Hey everyone, welcome to the podcast. This is Spread Hope Like Fire. I am your host, Tony G. You can find me on things like this podcast. Also, you can Twitter harass me. My Twitter handle is at TonyTheBeat85. Welcome to the first podcast of Spread Hope Like Fire. I'm going to start this podcast off by just kind of laying out what it is, why I'm doing it, and what I hope to get out of it. So, personally, the podcast is going to be about mental disorders like depression, anxiety, things like that, life struggles, people's issues, PTSD. I'm going to be having guests on here to speak about their struggles, their information that they have, and things that help them with their depression and anxiety and mental disorders. I keep saying depression and anxiety. That's just mainly because I suffer greatly from generalized anxiety disorder, which is a vicious circle. It turns into really big bouts of depression with me. So that's what I really want to talk about, is getting the word out, hoping to help others out there in the community that suffer with mental disorders like this. I want to be able to just help others and build a community around this podcast through Twitter, start a Facebook community, just different avenues of people getting help. Other than going to see a therapist, which I highly recommend. I was in therapy for 4+ years. I'm back in therapy because I still have problems. I struggle every day with anxiety. It's become one of my best friends. I've known anxiety since I was a kid. I've always lived with it, and so that's pretty much what I will be talking about, what this podcast is about, how I handle it. I handle anxiety in very weird fashions, mainly through comedy, laughter. I feel that the way I handle the disorder is by making jokes about it, trying to make other people laugh about it. So, yeah, and I hope to hear from you. Hit the subscribe button. Leave a review. I know this is the first podcast, but I want to build a solid community. And in doing so, let's get into it. So, this podcast came about by me doing a few things. A couple weeks ago, I started doing YouTube videos and realized that I looked completely depressed, which I was at the moment. I was pretty bad. Spread Hope Like Fire had turned into this a podcast. I love podcasts. I listen to them all the time, so I wanted to jump in and tackle it this way. That, and I have a face for radio, podcasting. Yeah, just kidding. I'm beautiful. And I know it. Ask my mother or my girlfriend. Just kidding. So, going on, I was trying to spread a message to help spread hope and help other people, and I don't like it. I didn't like the video recordings. I like this. This is a good setup. I was talking to a friend of mine who also suffers from depression, and we were talking, and he just said, hey buddy, how do you do this? Like, I find it hard. Like, you say that you've had this depression and anxiety for a lifetime, and so what happened? Did it progress and get worse over time? And I thought about it, and what I came up with was, no, it didn't get worse over time. It's been pretty bad since I was little. I had a really screwed up childhood. Which, I'm open to share and talk about. My father was a drug addict, alcoholic, and very abusive mentally, emotionally, verbally. And I had to live through that. I had to live through a lot of his crazy, paranoid bouts with his drug addiction. I was always put to the side for one thing or another. I was never his main focus. It was either drugs, alcohol, or his girlfriend at the time. Well, he had the girlfriend for, years. And so that left me in a place of confusion. I ended up having really bad attachment disorders that I figured out. And, I'm now in grad school for psychology to become a therapist, marriage and family therapy. So back on to what my buddy was asking is he just wanted to know, like, did it progressively get worse? And I had never been asked this question. Well, I have, but I hadn't gotten an answer I was happy with until I blurted it out. And it hadn't gotten worse. It's been pretty effing bad for quite a long time. My lifetime. I'm 32 years old now, and it has not become harder. It has become harder to hide it. I felt embarrassed. I felt ashamed. I felt all these emotions of worthlessness. I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere. I didn't feel like I fit in. I didn't feel like I would withdraw from life many times and withdraw from people. I wouldn't engage, and that was my way of hiding. That was my way of coping. And so thinking about it, it hasn't gotten worse. It's gotten harder to hide. And now with this education I have, obtaining my bachelor's degree from Bradman last year, and now going into the master's program, the graduate program for marriage and family therapy, it makes me realize that the mental disorder community, for lack of a better term, I can't think of it right now, we are suffering. It's become so stigmatized in American culture that if you suffer from a mental disorder, that something's wrong with you. So you're not normal. You shouldn't be dealt with. You're crazy. You're all these crazy words. You're crazy. You're psycho. You're gonna hurt somebody. You're gonna hurt yourself. People are afraid of you. They don't want nothing to do with you. So you hide it. You hide the fact that you're hurting inside, that you've got all these problems, and that you really want support, you really want help, you really want people to give you a hand. And for the longest time, I felt that way. I didn't want help. I didn't know how to look for help. I didn't know how to ask for help. And so I suffered. And I think it's time to educate. I hate using that term. I hate when people say that, sorry. But, I mean, let's destigmatize what mental health is. Mental health, we all have. Some of us struggle with it. Some of us have great mental health. Others, I mean, you don't look down on people that have cancer, so why would you look down on people that have mental health disorders like myself? I mean, it's not like we asked to be given these problems or disorders, but we're given these issues and we deal with them, and we're here also on this earth to contribute and live, and it's harder for us many times. We have all these. I have anxiety. It spirals into depression. It's terrible. So, with that, comes this podcast, Spread Hope Like Fire. That's my message, and that's what I aim to accomplish: is spread hope like fire. Let's build this community. Let's break down the walls of mental health. Let's break down the walls of being stigmatized to all these crazy stereotypical ideas of what mental health is and what people that suffer from mental health go through. So I'm going to reach out, and I'm going to start bringing on different guests, not just myself speaking about my struggles, but I want to talk to I know I have a lot of friends out there, hopefully are listening, and want to come on and talk about your struggles with mental health, whether it be depression, PTSD, anxiety, whatever it may be. If you have family members or just want to talk, I want to get the conversation going about mental health and give people hope that you're not alone. I'm here sitting in my studio garage as we speak, as you're listening. I want to be that hope, that positivity in the world. We look out at the world now, and all I see is negativity. Everybody's always mad, always complaining, always upset. Nothing's ever going right for them. And I want to change that. I want to be the right that's going for people. I want to give those people the hope that they need, along with other people that want to come on and contribute. This podcast is going to mean a lot to me, and so it's a labor of love. I'm going to just throw out different topics throughout the week. I'm going to be uploading once a week and taking questions and comments and whatever at my Twitter handle. So it's going to be at TonyTheBeat85 on Twitter. You can tweet me messages, comments, questions, and then just hashtag Spread Hope Like Fire, so we can get the community built. With that, let's get into what I wanted to cover today, which is anxiety and depression and the season of graduation. I graduated last year with my bachelor's degree from Bradman University. What up? And I wanted to share what I went through. Most people, like right now, you're probably thinking, what do you mean? What did you go through? Most people that graduate are excited. They're happy, overjoyed. They're celebrating. They're with family, friends, loved ones. They're enjoying the moment they earned. They earned this big moment in their life with this hard work and dedication and studying, writing all these papers, and today's the day. Today's that moment. You're graduating. You're finally at the end of the road, and you're ready to get your award, your diploma, your degree. For me, that was the complete opposite of what I was going through last year. I had a breakdown. I had an anxiety attack and a panic attack when the week of graduation hit me. I was done. I had nothing to do. I had spent the last 4 years. I went back to school in 2013, and 2017 was my graduation year. So I had spent the last 4 years working really hard to graduate, and I wanted to make sure that I did it with honors. So I graduated summa cum laude. And, I worked really hard. I was writing papers left and right, researching, because psychology was a passion. It became my new passion. It became something that I'm looking forward to as becoming a working licensed marriage and family therapist and helping others work through their problems that they're having. And so that week came, and I had nothing to do. It was the first week that I had no papers to write, no research to do, no discussion boards to post, no replies to have to think about, no sources to find, and I freaked because I thought Sunday's gonna come, and this was like Monday morning. I said Sunday's gonna come because I graduated that Sunday on May 21st, and so I freaked out. I said, what am I gonna do now? Where is life gonna take me? All these changes are happening. I knew where I was going. I already applied and got accepted to several schools and for my grad program. And so I didn't know where I was gonna go, though. In my head, my anxiety had kicked in, and it was like all these changes were happening. This milestone was coming up. What was gonna happen next? And that doomsday prophet that I am came back into play, and it was like all these bad things could happen. I have this diploma, I can't find a job. What if I can't find a job? I'm not going to be able to pay my bills. I'm not going to be able to support myself. I'm going to end up living in a car, living in a hotel, on drugs. Like, that's how my anxiety works. Is it's just a spiral. It's a snowball effect. Like I'll get the most random idea going, just like graduation, and should be happy about it, but I kill it with all these anxious ideas, and I was depressed. Sunday came, and I was just completely, absolutely depressed. I did not want to get up and go to graduation. It was a 4.5 hour drive from where I live to the city of Orange in Orange County. And so I got up, and we got ready, got in the car, and took off. And this whole time I should have been happy, and I wasn't. We hit traffic right away. This is like a sign, like this is what's going on in your life. We hit Santa Barbara we hit traffic all the way to Orange. It took us 7 hours to get there, and we had about 45 minutes to eat and get to graduation check-in. So I stopped at my brother's hotel because he had went down there that weekend. And so we stopped. We ate at the hotel, and my girlfriend's family had gone. Some of them have gone. So we ate, and we had like 15 minutes to get to the campus to do my check-in. And so it said on my boarding pass, no check-in past 6 o'clock p.m. So my GPS, I put the address in, and we're driving, and we get to the destination. It said, the phone always says, "Oh, your destination, you have arrived," and it was like, we're in an alley. My GPS had directed me into an alleyway. Like I was like, oh my God, what's going on? This campus is nothing like I thought. I was upset. I was like, what kind of campus is this? And I knew it wasn't the campus. It was like offices in an alleyway for the campus, and the campus was like half a mile away. But I started freaking out, panicking, trying to figure out where to go to check in. And I asked this lady that was coming out of her apartment. I've pulled up to her, was screaming at her, "Hey, where's Chapman University? I need to go graduate, and I don't know where I'm going," and all this. So she sent me to this other campus, this other school. And we get there, and I pull in. Oh, this isn't even the damn school. Where am I going? What's going on? And this is my anxiety. I was about ready to just go home. I wanted to go home. I was done. Luckily, I found flaggers for the event, asked them where to go. They told me where to go. And I gunned my Corolla to 88 miles per hour down that street and came to a skidding stop in the middle of the intersection right in front of Chapman, threw my car into a park, popped my trunk, grabbed my cap and gown, my boarding pass, told my girlfriend, "Hey, you got to drive the car. Talk to you later," and took off. And so, that was that story. I graduated and, was happy at the end. I remember walking across the stage, and I was really proud of myself. And getting that diploma was it meant a lot to me because my family was there, my mom was there, my girlfriend was there, and everybody that was very important to me was there that day. And I got to share it with these people, and as soon as I came walking down the stage, my depression came back in and smacked me right in the face, and it was like, well, what are you going to do now? Where are you going? What's life about? You're not worth this diploma. And so that was the only joy I had for that graduation. And it was just like, what the hell is wrong with me? And so with that, I know there's there are those of you who are out there who are graduating right now and going through the exact same thing. Where are you going to go? What are you going to be? What is this piece of paper supposed to do for you? I mean, responsibility. That's basically what that paper is telling you is, hey, buddy, school's over. It's time to, man up, and it's time to go get a job. It's time to support yourself. It's time to become an adult. And most of us don't want to become adults. We want to stay kids. I mean, I want to stay a kid. No bills, no nothing. It's good times. So for those of you out there, I mean, it's a hard thing to take in. It's a hard thing to think about, of just what happens after this moment in life. We work so hard, and you can relate this to any part of your life, really. I'm not a big fan of positive psychology, a theory of positive psychology, just because it doesn't, to me, help deep problems, but put so much into it. And when we finally get to that moment, we're not happy. As a people, we're not happy. What is this diploma piece of paper stand for? What is this winning basketball match stand? What does it give you? You won the championship for your team, and now what? You work so hard. You work so hard at maybe advancing in your job, and now you have this promotion that you wanted. Now what? And we're always left with that question, now what? And to me, it should always be about the journey. I think we put too much emphasis on the destination, where we're going to end up. And it's more about how are we going to end up there? What's going to happen? Because the journey, just like I said, I told you just what happened that day. That day at graduation was crazy. And I had worked 4 years to get to that day, and that's how that day turned out. But looking back, I have 4 years of all these things that happened to me, all these events, all these memories that had happened to me. I'd gotten engaged. I got a dog. And we moved, just, little things like waking up in bed with next to my girlfriend and knowing that someone's there that loves me and I love them. My mom almost passed away during that time. I can remember just all these things that had happened, and it's a journey. My girlfriend's mom had passed away, and I had spent a lot of time in the hospital with her. And it's just, there's so much in life that we overlook. It's always, we have these goals, we have these expectations of where we're going to be. Instead of where we're going to be, look at where we're at now. We have today, we have what... we're given for today. We don't know if tomorrow's coming, and it's more like, let's make today count, because tomorrow we might not be here, and yesterday we're going to end up with, today will be yesterday, and we'll have the memories that we made today. And so it's more focusing on the journey. Let's not focus on the destination, because the destination, we'll get there and it'll be gone. And then we're going to be left with this empty feeling of what now? I mean, at least I was. It's hard. It's hard to deal with, and it brings on great depression, great anxiety once you get to that destination. But taking a look now and reevaluating how you think, reevaluating hey, it's the journey. It's the 4 years that it took me to get to this diploma. Now it's the next 2.5 years. Well, I'm 1 year into the program, so the next year and a half will be my journey to get to that new diploma, my master's degree, and then another 4.5 years for my PhD. It's just the journey, and hopefully by then, I hope that I have a lot more memories that I can look back on and cherish, and have spent time with the ones I love. And so that's really what I wanted to get out there to you today was, if you're graduating, congratulations, class of 2018. You did it. Those last 4 years, I know, were probably a struggle. You probably wrote those research papers the night before they were due. At least I did. Having to find all those sources, having to cite everything correctly. APA is a wonderful format. The only thing I like about APA formatting is we can double space. Other than that, I hate it. And I'm still writing papers. I wish I was an undergraduate still, because my papers had gone from 10 pages research papers. Now I'm writing about 25 to 30 pages, and my PhD is probably going to be even worse. And then I have my dissertation. So, congratulations to everybody that's graduating this year. I'm proud of you. Let's look at this as it's an accomplishment, but now we have another journey. We have a new journey that's set in front of us, and it's time to make the memories. It's time to think in a positive manner. Positivity will bring positive thoughts, and positivity that you put out into the world will always come back to you. Negativity, sitting there anxious, sitting there depressed, is not going to get us anywhere. The day's going to go on. We're going to lose that day. We're going to lose that time. We're going to lose those memories that we could have made with people. And I mean, it's easier said than done. I was just depressed like 2 weeks ago for 2 straight weeks. This last few days, I'm barely getting out of it, and I decided, let's get this podcast going. And that's what I was hoping to do for the last 2 weeks, and I couldn't get myself to come record. So we're all faced, and I know right now for many of you that are graduating, it's that fear. That fear is eating at you, and it is something that, trust me, I let it eat at me. I was depressed, I was anxious, I was unhappy, and now I look back, and I wish I could go back and just enjoy that moment, that week of not writing anything, not having to do any of that homework or anything, just chilling, hanging out. And then Sunday, going down to Orange, getting my diploma, and being proud of myself. And, I ruined it. I ruined that day by just being sad and depressed and anxious because I didn't know where I was going. Even though I knew where I was going back to school. Literally, in a week from that Sunday, I had school again. I had to go back to school. So, I mean, it's a tough thing to deal with. It's a tough thing to share. But, I want to share, and I want to hear back from you. If you have these problems, or if you faced any of this, you're facing this now, you're graduating soon, or you have graduated, send me a Twitter. I want to know, and share some of your stories if I can, or questions. If you have any questions about the topic. I mean, graduation, life events, any events, marriage, divorce, life events that you're working for. I don't know if you're working for a divorce, but if you are and you want that and you need that, go for it. Don't stay miserable. Message me tweet me at Twitter at TonyTheBeat85. And hopefully next week I get some responses. I probably only have 2 listeners right now. Hi, Mom, and my girlfriend, Shrelly. So hopefully not only those 2 are listening, but I'm thankful that they are. So just tweet me questions and share your stories about anxiety. I'm going to try to get some people on to talk about certain issues or events and things that have triggered their mental problems that they have faced and how they've gotten over them, or if they're still dealing with them. And to close, I want to wrap it up. I'm going to try to wrap it up. I'm hitting the 30-minute mark. The second time I'm recording, because the last time I recorded, I sounded like an idiot. I wrote a speech on behalf of the graduating class of 2017 and submitted it to be considered to be the student speaker for my class. I wasn't picked, even though I think my speech was far, far better. Not to knock, I don't know, I forgot who gave the speech, but not to knock you, but, you know, you had your struggles. I had mine too. Not saying whose is better or whatever, and we both share. You got to share yours. I didn't get to share mine. So right now I'm going to share, as we wrap it up, I want to share what I wrote for my my graduation speech, and hopefully it helps you. It puts a perspective of what I was going through, what I was thinking. I remember 2013 sitting in an advisor's office at the community college, and I was super depressed. I was crying in her office because I didn't know where I was going and what I was doing, and I was scared. I was like, I got to do something. I got to change and something. So that 4 years, that was the day I started school at community college. And F you, Adam Carolla, because I went through community college and I got my bachelor's degree. So yeah, so here's my speech to wrap things up. And so it's, life is thought of by most of tremendous people achieving great things, but for the majority of us, life is not made up of these tremendous moments. Life is made up of small moments, with every small decision and with every small choice. Each of us is defining ourselves. Are we honest with ourselves? Are we faithful in who we've become? Are we proud of who we've become? Or are we disappointed in our choices? Rarely, life will turn out the way we have planned it. But such is life. The unexpected occurs. It surprises us with exciting and new possibilities. I found it hard to achieve this moment, as it took me over 10 years of going to school on and off. I feel that I should be receiving my doctorate at this point, but I'm happy with where I'm at. But my life didn't turn out as planned. I started out at the age of 18 wanting to change lives through filmmaking. I tried my hand at this for many years and finally put my film tools away for good. Feeling defeated, it was time to walk away from a passion that I had since I was a child. I found myself wondering what life had in store for me. I felt lost at times. I felt a little depressed at times. I'm not a very religious man, but about 4 years ago, I found myself at an all-time low in my life. I was stuck. So I turned to something I hadn't done in a long time. I prayed. I turned to God, the creator of life, beauty, joy, love, and understanding, for his guidance. The answer that finally came was nothing, really. There was no awe-awakening answers or thunderous voice that came from the heavens above. Looking back now, I can say that I was mistaken. I did receive a thunderous answer. My journey that was laid in front of me was, in fact, to change the world. I met a man that I paid $120 an hour each week to be my friend. This man is my therapist. I'm omitting his name to protect his good name. With his help, I found that I was not alone when it came to feelings of depression and sorrow or pain. I once again found a new meaning in my life. I wanted to help others that felt the same pain as me. A hero of mine, Robin Williams, said, "I think the saddest people always try their hardest to make people happy because they know what it's like to feel absolutely worthless, and they don't want anyone else to feel like that. This is my new path. this is my new meaning in life. I too want to follow in the footsteps of my friend, omitted name, and charge $120 an hour, hopefully someday, to have someone stand on a stage just like I'm doing here, or a podcast, because I didn't make it. That wasn't in my speech. And know that I helped them when they were lost, that I helped them find their way again. Another life-changing event occurred. Bradman University was placed in my life to help me achieve my goals because it was literally right down the street. And I wasn't going to move away to go to school, so I stepped through the door of the Santa Maria campus and knew that I was going to leave with a very large bill at the end of my first meeting with my academic advisor. The help that each professor, each advisor, and the online writing community, which saved my butt many times with helping me write proper academic-looking papers and making me sound like I was educated. I am standing here before my family, my fiance, my mom, my brother and sister, my nieces and nephew, and now I possess a piece of paper you can brag to all your friends about. Got a bachelor's degree. The genuine care and support that everyone I have encountered here at Bradman, along with my family, I owe a big thank you to, because I stand here looking out at new possibilities. Thank you. So with that, that was my speech that I didn't get to give. I'm still a little bitter about it. And if anyone from Bradman if anyone from the Bradman offices is listening, I don't hold it against you. I'm just saying. But, Bradman has been a good school to me. It's really opened up doors. And I'm happy with what I've chosen. And I hope you can find the same passion and same meaning in life to help you deal with what you're dealing with and get you through it. Because without this new path that I was given, I don't know where I'd be. And I hope that maybe it's this podcast, listening to this podcast helps you just a little bit. I just want to help at least one person deal with what they're dealing with. So with that, please subscribe, leave a review. Hit me up on Twitter at TonyTheBeat85 with questions. If you want to be a guest, let me know. We can Skype it up. You can come to my studio garage. I have beverages, snacks, a cute dog you can pet. But yeah, I want to end it on that note. And with that, I'll see you next week. See you then. See you later.